Hi everyone, it's Monday again, and it is an unboxing week, which I'm very excited about. I feel very Oprah whenever we unbox books. You get a book and you get a book. It's very exciting. So I have some new books, and I'm going to do what I did last time because I felt like that worked really well, where I'm going to talk about 5 or 6 of the new books that just have me really excited. And then I'm going to do a virtual bookshelf with the rest of them. So you can check our webpage, or there'll be a link right after the video that shows you the bookshelf full of new book covers. And it has an interactive element in that you can click on the cover and it will give you information about the book from Amazon. And it will also give you a link directly to our catalog to place a hold if you're interested. So that way I don't have to talk so fast and cram so much into a few-minute book talk. So let's do the thing I do where I put a cover up and then I talk about the book, and I do that back and forth. And at the end, I'll put all the covers again, and then you will also be able to check out the brand new virtual bookshelf to see what else we've got coming in, because we've got some really cool stuff. So let's get started. As you saw there, the first book we're going to talk about is called Act Your Age, Eve Brown. And the tagline on the cover says, "She's sunshine, he's serious. They're enemies for now." And it just has the cutest cover in the whole world, as you saw. And this just looked like the ray of sunshine that I've been looking for in a book, something kind of light and enjoyable, with characters that I'm rooting for and things I could be happy and excited about. It's an odd couple kind of situation. Eve Brown is the main character, and she is a hot mess, as the book cover describes her. And she just can't get anything right, and everybody in her life is fed up with her and telling her to get her act together. And she ends up applying for a job with Jacob Wayne, who is the opposite. He is perfectionist, type A, everything in its place, in control all the time. And this tornado of a woman blows into his life and kind of takes over, and it drives him nuts, or does it? It just sounds like an adorable, meet cute rom-com of a book, and the characters just sound fantastic. The author, Talia Hibbert, is a Black British author who lives in a bedroom full of books, it says. That's my kind of person. So she's written some other books, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and Take a Hint, Danny Brown. So this is another of her books. I think it's the first one we've bought, but it just looks really good to me. It looks like just a little book of sunshine, which is, like I said, what I've been searching for myself. I don't know about you. So if you're looking for something light and effervescent and funny, I think this may be the book for you. Okay, so let's check out our next book. We're changing tone a little here, but also great fiction. So this book, We Begin at the End, is by Chris Whitaker and has been getting all sorts of rave reviews from Wally Lamb, who wrote I Know This Much Is True, which was hugely popular. It's being compared to the best of Tana French and Dennis Lehane. So if you think of those kind of authors and that's your alley, I think this book is going to be right up there with those. It's an instant classic, they've called it. So it says, the tagline is, "There are 2 kinds of families, the ones we are born into and the ones we create." And I am a firm believer in that. Chosen family is very important in everyone's life, I think. And so this says that a 40-something-year-old sheriff and a 13-year-old girl may not seem to have a lot in common, but both have come to expect that people will disappoint you, loved ones will leave you, and if you open your heart, it will be broken. It's pretty sad. So when trouble arrives, the 2 characters find they will be unable to do anything but usher it in, arms wide closed. It says that this is an extraordinary novel about people who deserve so much more than life serves them. And I think that's, a hard fact for a lot of people. Everything isn't fair, right? And so at times devastating, with flashes of humor and hope throughout, it is an ultimately inspiring tale of how the human spirit prevails and how, in the end, love in all its different guises wins. So while this has maybe some harder subject matter and is more poignant, which means that there are moments of sadness, it sounds like ultimately hopeful, which is my favorite thing, because that's life, right? Is we want everything to be sunny every day, but it's not. And also we don't appreciate the good times without the bad. And so I feel like this strikes a poignant note and is just a book that, like I said, people are losing their minds over, saying how great this is. So if you've been waiting or you're on the list for this, our copy is here, which means that if you are a Kinderhook patron, you only have to wait behind our patrons to get it. So hopefully that means your wait will be short. And I hope that you will all enjoy it as much as all of these various reviewers did, including Louise Penny and some other really big names. So it sounds fantastic, and I know it's going on my to-read list. All right, our next book. The next title, as you saw, is It's Been a Pleasure, Nomi Blake. Being a work in progress never felt so good. And aren't we all works in progress? So the back of this book says, what if you made yourself your number one priority, which is something I think many people do not do. And I think particularly women are not socialized to do that. So we have to work very hard to consider ourselves in that way and make room for ourselves in our own lives, right? We're so busy serving and helping and doing things for others that it's important that we remember that it's our life and we need to live it ourselves also. So this one is that story. Nomi Blake has pleased everyone in her life, but she's overlooked herself, and she decides that it's time for that to change. And so she embarks on a pleasure-seeking quest that takes her halfway around the world. And they call this book effortlessly hilarious and relatable. The author, Claire Christian, it says, puts a spin on a fresh, feel-good tale about starting over as a 30-something woman who's been living life for everyone else. I really am excited about this one because, again, I'm kind of vacillating here. I usually do all similar books in a row, but I thought let's do a light one and then a more serious one and a light one and a more serious one. So we're back to lighter, but also important, I think. Like, let's not overlook the importance of the message just because it is a more fun chick lit kind of novel. I'm super excited about it. It's called Vibrant and it says it captures your heart. So again, this one's going right on my to-read list because this feels like the right read for this moment. The sun is out, things are bright and cheery, stuff is getting better, and why not celebrate that with a great book about learning to prioritize? So It's Been a Pleasure, Nomi Blake, which I'm very excited about. All right, I've got a few more to talk about with you. So our next book, The Survivors by Jane Harper, is an author who I have read and talked about before. She wrote this book called The Dry that was about a drought, and they were very suspenseful, very atmospheric, really good sense of place. And so she has written one other book also, The Lost Man it was called. But so this is another, they call it stunning and atmospheric. Look at that, 2 words I just used. Another triumph by the acclaimed author. And the tagline is, even the deepest secrets rise to the surface. So if you're looking for suspense and thriller and maybe a little darker in tone, this might be the one for you. It says it's not only atmospheric, but it delves deep, unearthing dark secrets, hidden guilt, and simmering social tensions. So this is when there's some families involved, and when a body is discovered on the beach, long-held secrets threaten to emerge. A sunken wreck, a missing girl, and questions that have never washed away. So I'm really excited to check this one out. Also, this is my kind of tense thriller. I enjoy that. They call it nuanced and pulse pounding. And they're set in the Australian outback. Most of her books are. And I think that gives it a sense of adventure too, and travel, which we're not getting to do right now as much. So The Survivors by Jane Harper. Okay, so we're going to switch tacks a little, and we're going to talk about a couple nonfiction titles, and then we'll be done for the week. Okay. If ever there was a cookbook that was designed for a person like me, it is called No Recipe Recipes. It's the New York Times cooking. There has been a blog, and they have been posting these recipes individually. I was just informed by Mandy, our children's librarian, who is also a cook, and she says she has been seeing these individually and didn't know there was a book coming out. So for those of you who didn't know, here it is. And it says you don't need a recipe. Really, you don't. I argue that I might, but I'm hoping maybe this can change my attitude towards that. I think that's why I'm more of a baker than a cook, is I like precision and direction, but I have always wanted to not need those things so much. So this has pages for you don't need a recipe, you don't need a pantry, and it's taking what you have and making fantastic food out of it. They've got beautiful pictures. So look at these pot stickers with tomato sauce. Gorgeous. It's got great instruction. They've got split into different sections based on the waterfront, a number of meats, chickens and duck, dessert please. So it kind of covers the full gamut. This looks like an excellent candidate for our cookbook club, possibly, when we get to bring that back. So I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, who doesn't want some of these? Vegan banana ice cream and watermelon granita. Gorgeous. So if you're looking for a new cookbook or feel frustrated and stuck in a rut cooking wise, this may be something for you to check out. The New York Times Cooking No Recipe Recipes by Sam Sifton. Okay, one more book and then we're done for the week. Some books draw you in because you know a lot about the subject and it's something that you're interested in, and others draw you in because you know nothing about the subject. And that was the case for me with this one. So it's called Come Fly the World, The Jet Age Story of the Women of Pan Am by Julia Cook. And I mean, fantastic cover, just wonderful cover art. But the thing that actually made me pick this one up is that for anybody who knows Wendy Spielman, the wife of our board president and active friend of the library, she used to work for Pan Am as a checker, and so she talks about that a lot, and I've always been kind of fascinated by it because it feels very different from what the people working on airlines today deal with. So this says it's glamour, danger, liberation. In a Mad Men era of commercial flight, Pan Am World Airways attracted young women who wanted out and wanted up. And so it talks about all the things, like they were required to have a college education, speak 2 languages, possess the political savvy of a foreign service officer. They had a lot of expectations on the stewardesses did, particularly on their looks and on their abilities. But they say that this is just a pop passport to another time and a richly researched and entertaining flight with the women of Pan Am. So I am super excited because I don't know much about it, but it all intrigues me and I'm so interested to read about it. It must have been a really fascinating life. And I'm curious if it felt as glamorous as it sounds. It also sounds really grueling in a lot of ways. So I just think it was really interesting and had this personal tie for me to our village and the people I know here. So I'm very excited about Come Fly the World. All right, that's it for this week. So I will post with this video the link to the virtual bookshelf with all of the other new books that came in, and feel free to place holds, give us a call and we can help you with that. Make an appointment to come in and browse through the shelf and see what's here, and we'll get you all set up with your next great read. I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye, everyone.